So having a home gym was my way of squeezing in my time. Squeezing in that little bit of time for me to be alone and work out. And that's where safety is your number one concern when starting a home gym. Your number two concern should be money. Number one is safety, and I'll get back to that. But when it comes to money, your second concern was setting up a home gym. This video will show you how to save, I don't even know how much, how to save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars by combining new purchases with the used market. Used market, new purchases, combining. You probably haven't seen many videos arguing to do that. Because, to be honest, most home gym influencer types make their money off of affiliate links and kind of promoting products. And I'm all for affiliate links. I have affiliate links. By the way, in the description, if you want to support the channel, go buy yourself a preacher pad. Go buy yourself some plate snacks or obsidian ammonia and maybe even some wall control while you're at it. But wait a minute. I know, you're here to save money. So we'll get to all those things later because most of those things, no offense to the wonderful companies that I support, are specialized items in my best opinion. So what are the essential items? That's what we'll cover. That's what we'll cover in this video. The essential, the prioritized list, if you will, as well as what should be purchased new and what should be purchased used. So let's get going. Enough of an introduction. You may have already fast forwarded to this point. I don't know. New barbell. That's what you should definitely focus in on. Get yourself a brand new barbell right away if you can. I don't have any videos on the newest of barbells. I don't have any affiliates that sell barbells at this time, so I'm not pushing any particular company on you, but I will tell you some places I really respect and enjoy. Number one would be Basement Brandon. He has a lot of information on barbells. Go check him out and figure out a barbell that's good for you. The next would be Gluck's Gym. Gluck, setting aside his corny jokes, is really knowledgeable when it comes to equipment and setting up your home gym with brand new equipment. So when it comes to barbells, check his page out as well. But this is why I think you should buy a brand new barbell. I'm well versed in vintage barbells. To my left, out of shot, there are at least 8 that are older than I am. And as much as I love them, they have very passive knurling and they're just not for everybody. What is for everybody in 2022 would be a nice, aggressive, knurled barbell. So start saving your money. You'll need anywhere between $200 and $300. And while you do that, buy your dumbbells and your weight plates used. It might take a little time to find them, but don't hold out for buying a whole set or buying the whole gym from somebody. That's the biggest misconception that I think a lot of people have with setting up a home gym is that you need the whole amount. You see these videos on YouTube that say like, $1,000 Amazon home gym, $10,000 this home gym, and they go through and they show you, oh, you can buy all of this for only $1,000. Well, I didn't have $1,000 whenever I wanted to start a home gym. So I started a home gym with 2 pair of hex iron dumbbells. I had a pair of 15s and a pair of 25s, and I put them in the corner of my studio apartment over in Dormont, a nice section of Pittsburgh. So, if you ever stop by Pittsburgh, I can show you that little tiny apartment if you like. I drive by it. Those dumbbells were home gym enough for me at the time, and I spent about $20 on them. So, don't be discouraged. Get out there on the used market and start. The beauty of a home gym is that there's no contracts involved. If you buy something cheap on the used market, some cheap dumbbells that later on you want to upgrade to vintage York roundheads, well, swap them out. That's what I did. I had accumulated a whole set of hex iron dumbbells by the time that I fell in love with vintage weights and decided to get York roundheads. And then one by one, pair by pair, I swapped them out. So just get out there and get something. And one of the best things to get first on the used market would be some dumbbells. You don't need anything else. You can have a whole body workout with dumbbells. While you're working out with dumbbells, that's when you start looking for weight plates on the used market. I really like what I'm seeing from some different weight plate manufacturers that manufacture in the USA, like Rogue and LeMaster, and I think Surplus Strength is rolling out some iron plates as well. I like what I'm seeing. They're looking good. Strength Co., I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Strength Co. However, for someone just starting out, those plate sets are quite expensive, and your money would be better spent at first elsewhere. So get your weight plates used. Whether you want to collect vintage weights or not, just get them used. If you need advice on weight plates and some of the best quality used weight plates, check out this video, or maybe it's over here. Yeah, check out that video. And there are vintage plates out there that may not be the most collectible, but that are made in USA and accurate and usually able to be found very cheap. And even if you don't find those, the same logic applies to weight plates as applies to dumbbells. Just get something. And by the time you get all that stuff, hopefully you have enough to buy a nice barbell. But if you don't, that's where there's some wiggle room. Get a cheap barbell. I mean, my only hesitation would be if you're like elite status lifter, you've been lifting a while, and you're going to throw 500 pounds onto that barbell for your bench press, then maybe don't get a cheap barbell. The thing's going to snap in half, and you'll be angrily emailing me if you survive. But if you're just an average guy like me, get a cheap barbell. Most of them came with a 300 pound set for a reason, and that is that they can really only handle up to about 300 pounds. That cheap barbell is just a placeholder while you save for that new barbell. So what's next? Let's assume you have some dumbbells, you have some weight plates, you got them all used. Maybe you were fortunate enough to buy a brand new barbell. Maybe you weren't and you just have a cheap barbell. Now you're thinking, oh geez, I can't squat. I can't do any of the lifts that I would do with squat stands or with a power rack. Well, that's next up, but in the meantime, just know from the Vintage Weights PGH guy that you can do a Steinborn squat and you can do an Arthur lift. There are some great videos out there, and I'll have one coming soon with ways to squat without a power rack. But for the time being, just subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. And if you already know what those things are, drop a comment and tell me how it's going for you. My first piece of advice would be don't go heavy. Start with just your bare barbell to figure out the movements. But you do want to get something like a squat rack or a power rack, and my best suggestion, in my experience as a home gym owner that lifts alone, is don't get squat stands. Get a power rack. Save your money for a power rack. And my best advice is to buy new with a power rack, because I rarely see them posted on the used market, at least quality made power racks. I see plenty of cheap, Walmart special type power racks, Amazon power racks, but I wouldn't waste my money on it if I were you. I treat it like a feast or famine situation. First of all, power rack for safety issues. You're lifting alone. Anything can happen. At least that power rack's going to catch your barbell with the safety pins or safety straps. So get a power rack. Second of all, feast or famine, because on the used market, don't buy in the middle. Don't spend a reasonable amount of money for a crappy power rack, for one that you're going to want to replace anyway. While you're saving your money for a quality made power rack from places like Rogue, Surplus Strength, in that time, either buy something that is dirt cheap, that will provide at least a modicum of safety, or in that time that you're saving and you're working out without a power rack and you're just using dumbbells and using what you got, maybe you find something that fits the bill. I almost pulled that off. I really wanted what I ended up buying new, which is an RML 430 power rack, and there was one, the exact one I wanted, this one right here, used for sale in New York. But in my schedule, I couldn't pull off the drive to go up and get it. I would have saved about $800. Oh well. I missed it. Someone else bought it. I ended up buying this new. But that's what I'm talking about. Either something brand new, feast, or dirt cheap, famine, while you save for the brand new power rack. Now, let's assume you've gotten that power rack. That's kind of the top of the hill. That's the summit, if you will, in terms of building your home gym, because that's probably going to be one of the most expensive things you buy. So now it's all downhill. Be proud of yourself, enjoy yourself, but don't install that power rack until you get flooring. That's number 4. Flooring. Up until now, if you had the time and money to put in some nice flooring for your home gym, good for you. But if you didn't, you probably got by. You probably weren't deadlifting too much and smashing through your floor. Hopefully not. Maybe you got some of those cheap foam puzzle pieces, but there are endless videos, extolling the virtues of stall mats, and I'm not going to waste your time now telling you why to buy stall mats. Just go buy stall mats. What I will tell you is whether to buy those used or new, because it is possible to find them used. I actually, about 3/4 of my gym are used stall mats. That happened by a happy accident, it was serendipitous. I was buying a bunch of old weights, and the seller also had stall mats that he was getting rid of because he was retiring and he was moving to a smaller home. I ended up buying them. Here's what I would tell you. Stall mats are about $50 each. For my gym, I ended up saving 50%. I needed about 8 stall mats for my home gym, which equates to $400 new, and I bought the used ones for $200. Saving 50%, saving $200 after the fact, when I look back on it, wasn't worth it. The amount of time that I spent scrubbing and trying to clean up these stall mats because of just aesthetic appearance and because of just the yuckiness, like for 30 years, this dude and whoever else has been working out and sweating and rolling around on these things, I don't know what they're doing on them. Just to hygienically get them to the point that I was happy to install them, I should have just bought new. So take it from me, just buy your stall mats new. Unless you see some secondhand selling them new, buy them new. Now we go into, okay, you've put down your stall mats, you've got your power rack installed, now things are looking good, but stuff's everywhere. Storage. Storage determines comfort. The comfort you have in your home gym is not determined by a gym flag, although I like mine. Banners and flags are great, I enjoy them, but comfort is determined by storage. And your number 1 storage priority should be your dumbbells and your weight plates. Here's what to buy used and new on that front. Buy your dumbbell rack used. This is why. They're everywhere. There's so many dumbbell racks that even when you look on Amazon or look on Walmart and you see, it's only $100 for this, I guarantee you can find that same dumbbell rack for about $25 to $50. Do not buy a dumbbell rack new unless you're buying like a premium, rack looking system with uprights and beautiful powder coated shelves and things. So unless you're buying some premium dumbbell rack, just buy it used. With your weight plates, the dividing line between used and new would be, do you want a weight tree or not? I see weight trees on the used market all the time. Weight trees are the triangular with posts that look like a tree. If you want one of those, don't buy it new, buy it used. They're all over the place. Sometimes they're with a bunch of weights, sometimes they're separate. The ones that are with a bunch of weights, just message and see if they'll sell it separately. I think I have 6 weight trees in my garage right now because they all just came with weight pickups and I'm constantly offloading them. I'm giving them to friends, I'm selling them for $25. Just buy a weight tree used. If you want anything for your weight plates besides a weight tree, then what I personally would suggest is what's over my shoulder. The individual weight storage posts that you can mount on the wall. The reason for that is not just because I have an affiliate link to them, which if you do want to buy them, help me out. Use the affiliate link. If you're enjoying this video, then send a couple pennies my way so that I can buy more supplies and things. You might notice I'm not wearing a microphone right now. It'd be really nice to get one of those. But the reason that I suggest these storage posts is the versatility. My first weight plate storage was a leaning storage post, 4-post from Titan Fitness. And I gotta, for as much as Titan gets crapped on, I gotta say it actually was a decent product. Easy to install, held up really well. But the problem was how rigid it was, that all of my weight plates went there, but then I kind of wanted them elsewhere. I wanted some over here, some over there. Those storage posts, the storage posts behind me allowed me to do that. They came with anchors to put them into drywall, possibly. I'm not hanging hundreds of pounds off of just drywall anchors. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. So I'd highly suggest that you put them into studs. Put them in studs, or you do the crossboard. You use a 2x4 or something and drill that into studs and then put your posts on the crossboard. I'm sure if you're on Instagram, you've seen people with that. Check out the weight plate storage posts if you would like anything but a weight tree. And then all the rest, other stuff you've accumulated, because if you've been buying things used, you've probably got all kinds of things now, attachments for cable pulleys and, spare collars. It's all laying around. And just like that guy with the mustache coupe on Garage Gym Reviews likes to say, you get everything up off the floor. I do agree. Get it off the floor, and get it off the floor with wall control. To my right and to my left, I have 2 of my 3 wall control stations. I have become addicted to wall control. I love it. I'm so glad I spent the money on it. It was on sale. I got a 2-pack of the stainless steel, galvanized steel, I should say, panels for $50. That might sound a little steep, but here's the thing. When I priced out like the classic pegboard, like that's not metal, not only was it made overseas, but when I priced it out, it really wasn't that much cheaper than these. So you might as well get wall control. It's made in the United States, and it's actual steel. It's metal. It's not going to fall down. You can hang some heavy stuff on it, heavier than my smelly old knee sleeves. Heavy stuff like the lat pull-down attachments and things that I have hanging off of it. So get some wall control as a, 5th step, if you will, and get all those extra things up off the floor. And I have a link for wall control because I truly believe in it. It's a great company. I put them in my garage for all my restoration tools. I look around my house just looking for more places for wall control because I love it that much. Last but not least would be all the specialized things that you want. Do not, this is hard, this requires discipline. Do not buy some specialized equipment before you have the things I've already named. If you don't have a power rack, do not spend even $50 on, that really cool curl bar that you want because, you want to have big biceps before you go on vacation. Do not do it. You'll be tempted. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, you will be tempted to buy all kinds of specialized equipment, but don't do it before you buy all the stuff I already mentioned. Now, if you are going to buy specialized equipment, think about things like the preacher pad. I mention this not just because I really like it and because I have an affiliate link for AbMat and because it was developed by Garage Gym Lab, a home gym influencer, which I think is really neat. I mention it because this is a great example of the specialized equipment that you should be targeting first, which would be versatile pieces of equipment that don't take up space, that much space, and that are easily used in a home gym setting. The preacher pad can just go in a corner. It sits over near the exterior door that's in my home gym, and my kids, when they come in, like to sit on it. It's the perfect height for a 2-year-old to use it as a bench. And it takes the place of a preacher curl station that would take up, probably in my small home gym, 1/4 of the space of my home gym. So right away, it just makes sense. The I think it's $35 just makes sense. It's about the same price of a brand new preacher curl station, and this is going to get used a lot more often by me because it's more versatile. I can use it for all kinds of different things. I recently had a video where I was using it with my York health shoes, my iron boots. Who would have thought that would be like a thing, a gym hack, if you will. So think along the lines of the preacher pad when it comes to specialized equipment. When it comes to other things that, you might want to throw into the mix, then I suggest you check out plate snacks. Plate snacks are a way to customize your home gym in a very affordable manner. You can put them on your plates. That's the original concept by the company, Plate Snacks, the vinyl decals. I have a Plate Snacks video that you can watch, and in the video live while I'm recording, I apply the Plate Snacks to my 45-pound plates, and it's really that easy. I didn't practice. I didn't have like multiple sets to practice with. The Plate Snacks owner even reached out to me and kind of joked around about like, oh man, were you nervous putting those on? I said, no, like it was easy. So check out Plate Snacks. I have an affiliate link for those. I really believe in it. It's one of my 4 affiliates for that reason. It's easy to customize your home gym. And the best thing about a home gym, one of the best things, is that it's yours. You can do what you want. The last thing that I'd mention would be Obsidian ammonia. If you're getting into lifting, this is not like a necessary thing, a requirement, but boy is it nice, especially in the early morning. I lift at 5 in the morning. Woo, that'll wake you up. You can save 15% with code VINTAGE15 at hypedust.com. Direct link in the description on Obsidian ammonia. Don't buy any of these things I just named before all the important stuff, but consider them after the fact and consider using my links to help out my channel. So to recap, what should you buy used? 100% buy your dumbbells and your weight plates used, at least at first. Down the road, if you want something fancy, go buy it. 100% buy your barbell new, and buy your stall mats and your wall control new. Do not buy others, with the exception of maybe we'll move it down a little bit on this little line of used versus new. The barbell, maybe a cheap barbell for a little bit while you save. In the middle, where there's some wiggle room, a little bit would be your power rack. Remember the feast or famine advice. Don't pay an average price for a crappy power rack. And I'd stay away from squat stands because if you have a home gym, you're probably working out alone. Get yourself a power rack and get a good quality one. Don't get a middle of the road. Just get feast or famine. I guess I did that in reverse that time. Feast. Oh, I'm still doing it. Weird. Feast or famine. There we go. Now, if you're still watching, oh my gosh, thank you. This has been a one-shot video. You've probably heard me mess up here and there, but I'm trying to practice my skills at speaking, so thanks. I've been enjoying this process. I've been enjoying sharing this kind of thing with the home gym community, and I have gained a lot more than I've given, so thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button, drop a comment, and let me know your thoughts on buying new versus used. You've probably already subscribed, but get one of your friends to subscribe, that helps. And watch some of my older videos. Drive that view time up. Watch the videos. Throw yourself a Vintage Weights PGH viewing party. I'll make sure to jump in and say hello if you do. Wouldn't that be crazy? What are you doing Friday? I'm just watching Vintage Weights PGH videos. It's going to be a real party. Old weights, new gains.